We're here, NFL draft season. And this time of the year is always exciting for a number of reasons. Reason number one, the Cowboys can't disappoint us on Sundays anymore. Reason number two, we can do mock drafts. Let's get into the video. The Cowboys' first pick of the draft sits at number 24. And let me tell you, when that pick rolled around, I was pleasantly surprised by the players that were still available. We had cornerback Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, who pretty much solidified himself as a top 20 pick at the Senior Bowl, who realistically could still be there at 24. We had Jackson Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon, who also helped his draft stock tremendously at the Senior Bowl as well. Kamari Lassiter, the hard-hitting and physical corner from the University of Georgia, was also sitting on the board. And for me, two names are more intriguing than the rest: Jackson Powers Johnson and Quinyon Mitchell. Now, I know that a lot of these mock drafts are going to rely on what the Cowboys do in free agency. Luckily, we don't have to wait too much longer to get those answers. Do they bring back Stephon Gilmore, Tyler Biadasz? Those two moves obviously matter a lot when we look at these two players being available. But I've talked about it on the channel, and personally, I would like to see the Cowboys make a change at center. Try and upgrade the position if possible. And look, the draft gods have dropped one into our laps right here with Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. Easily the best center prospect in the draft, and a guy I actually already made a video on a few weeks ago. Powers Johnson had 0 sacks given up in 2023, 0 quarterback hits, and just 1 hurry. He's a big, strong, athletic guy listed at 6'3", 320 pounds. He does a good job of getting out into space, he moves well, he's very strong and physical at the point of attack, and with that size, he anchors down very well against big defensive tackles up front. The Cowboys' offensive line was at their best with All-Pro Travis Frederick, a guy that the Cowboys also took late in the first round in 2013. I would love for this team to take another center that is plug and play for the next 10 years, and potentially an All-Pro. Someone that can really take command of this offensive line, and I think Jackson Powers Johnson is that guy. Now, I used that first pick to really butter you guys up so you don't hate me for what I did in the second round, because boy, are we about to see some angry comments about who I selected. Let's look at who was on the board. Jonathan Brooks, running back from Texas, likely the top-rated running back for people in this class. We had Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M, someone that many people will call the best off-ball linebacker in this class as well. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., linebacker from Clemson. Braden Fisk, defensive tackle from Florida State. And I think we can all agree right now, I don't think the Cowboys are going to pay a running back as much as I would like to see them try and get Saquon Barkley. It is not financially responsible to pay a running back on the open market. So that leaves you with one guy like Rico Dowdle and another in Deuce Vaughn, and Malik Davis as well. Still, I think the running back spot is currently a position of need on this team. But you guys might not be as high on the player I selected as I am. But I do expect other teams, and maybe even the Cowboys, to be higher on this guy after the combine. So I selected Trey Benson, running back, Florida State. Now I know what you guys are gonna say. The Cowboys need to draft a linebacker. It's a position of need. And yes, I agree. And certainly wouldn't be mad with that sort of selection. But like I talked about in my free agency video, I would rather this team address that with a veteran signing in free agency. I think you need more of a veteran presence in that room, and I don't think taking a linebacker in round 2 really fixes those issues in 2024. There's not a linebacker worth a top 32 selection. So essentially that room would be Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshown off of a torn ACL, and then a second round linebacker. I would like a little bit better of a group. Go get a running back in the second round. And my favorite back in this class is Trey Benson. A lot of people, especially top media members, are going to lean towards Jonathan Brooks. And a lot of you, also being Texas fans, probably agree. But for me, I don't love him as a player when you look at the red flags. He's had 1 year of running back 1 production, and he'll be coming off a serious injury that ended his 2023 season. And Brooks does feel like a Dallas Cowboys selection. He's coming off an injury, he has the potential upside to be your running back 1 for the next 3 or 4 years. But for me, in this mock draft, do you want to bet on a rookie running back that's coming off an injury? Not really. Trey Benson is too low on draft boards in my opinion, and I don't see him sitting there until the 3rd round. So go ahead and get your running back for the next 3 to 4 years. He's had 2 full seasons of running back 1 production at Florida State. He has that home run hitting speed to pull away from defenders and hit his head on the goalpost. He's sneaky in tight spaces, and it usually takes more than 1 defender to bring him down. And of all the running backs this year, has the most upside in my opinion. The only problem is, can he pass protect? That was something that he struggled with in college when he did get the opportunities to. I'm not really sure that Florida State really trusted him, but when he was in there, he wasn't great. And it might be the reason that he does fall to round 3 in this draft. But this is a mock draft, guys. We're having fun, right? Comment your thoughts on these picks so far, rounds 1 and 2. Rate it on a scale for me from A+ to an F. And let's get to our last pick of this 3-round mock draft, and that is defensive tackle McKinley Jackson from Texas A&M. An absolutely massive human being in the middle, and a guy that flashed a ton of athleticism at Texas A&M. I know that the Cowboys invested in the defensive tackle position last year with Mozzie Smith, but I really like McKinley Jackson for a few reasons. His burst off the line of scrimmage is very impressive, especially when you factor in that the guy is 6'2", 325 pounds. For a guy that size, he can move. What impresses me is the get off speed and then the pass rush moves. In 2023, McKinley had an 8.7% pass rush win rate. That was in the 80th percentile among other guys on the defensive interior. His run stop rate was a bit lower at 6.2%, but he still ranked in the 60th percentile. For a 3rd round pick, I really like the intangibles and the possible upside. The combination of size, speed, and athleticism makes him a very good option on day 2, and I would be happy with this pick. So what do you guys think about this mock draft? Don't kill me too much down below in the comments. This was the first one. There are going to be a ton of DoubleMove mock drafts, so if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.